Abuse does not end the moment legal options appear. I'll withdraw your papers. No one will believe you because you're not from here. Hello, everyone. Our topic today is stalking, mental abuse, and parental alienation. Why these behaviors constitute domestic violence and provide legal relief for their victims. As a U.S. immigration lawyer, today's topic is deeply personal. I received my lawful permanent resident status through VAWA, self-petition. And even with that protection in place, breaking free from an abusive marriage was not immediate or easy. Abuse does not end the moment legal options appear. If we can be real, it takes time, courage, and support to reclaim one's life. For over 2 decades, as a now naturalized U.S. citizen, I am grateful to be happily married to a supportive and loving partner, and also grateful to have spent years helping both women and men find the strength to leave abusive relationships, secure lawful permanent residence through self-petitions, and ultimately regain their dignity and their sense of self. Specifically, this episode will focus on something that many immigrants experience but are often told to minimize, endure, or stay silent. That is stalking, mental abuse, and parental alienation. These are not relationship problems. They are forms of actual violence. And no one, especially a non-citizen whose immigration status depends on a U.S. citizen or permanent resident spouse, should ever feel obligated to tolerate them. Abuse does not have to be physical to be real, and you do not need a police report to deserve protection. When people hear the words domestic violence, they often imagine bruises, broken ribs, and the police at your door. But that is not and far from the full picture. Domestic violence also includes patterns of control, behaviors designed to dominate, isolate, and break someone down over time. That includes stalking. Stalking can look like constant monitoring, tracking your phone or online activity, showing up uninvited, installing spyware, GPS devices, or cameras, watching your every move. It includes mental and emotional abuse, gaslighting, constant criticism, threats, humiliation, financial control, isolation from friends or family, spiritual or religious manipulation. And it includes parental alienation, using children as weapons, turning them against their mother, threatening to take them away, using custody or access as leverage. Forcing children to spy and report or carry messages is horrendous but very common. These are not accidents, they're deliberate strategies of control. For immigrants, abuse often comes with like an extra layer, I would say. There's immigration threats. We see this all the time in our practice. Things like, I'll get you deported, I'll withdraw your papers. No one will believe you because you're not from here. If you leave, you'll lose your children. Research, advocacy groups, and real-world cases consistently show that U.S. citizen and permanent resident abusers use immigration status to trap non-citizen spouses. Fear becomes the cage, and silence becomes the greatest abuser. Let me be very, very clear. You do not need bruises to be in danger. Psychological abuse can be just as devastating, and in some cases, even more dangerous than physical abuse. Studies show immigrant women experience high rates of intimate partner violence, particularly emotional abuse and coercive control. Parental alienation is especially harmful. It attacks a mother's bond with her children. It traumatizes the child themselves, and it keeps women trapped through fear, guilt, and manipulation. Stalking, as we mentioned, is a red flag, and it's often present in the most dangerous domestic violence cases even before physical incidences occur. If your partner systematically is controlling your mind, your movement, your children, or your immigration status, that is violence. Many non-citizen men and women don't leave abusive situations because they are weak. They stay because the risks feel overwhelming. They may have no family in the United States, language barriers, financial dependence, cultural pressure to stay quiet, fear of police or immigration enforcement. In some cultures, seeking mental health support is seen as shameful or unnecessary. But in the U.S. legal system, silence works against you. Documentation absolutely matters. Professional support matters. If you are experiencing stalking, mental abuse, or parental alienation, getting mental health support is not a sign of weakness. It is a form of protection. Seeing a therapist, counselor, or trauma-informed provider can help you understand what you are experiencing is abuse, support your emotional and psychological safety, and it also creates documentation that can be critical in immigration cases. You can also document abuse by keeping a journal, saving text messages, telling trusted professionals what is happening. They do not need a police report. And a police report is absolutely not needed to be valid. But you do need support and you do need a record. U.S. immigration law recognizes and sponsors and realizes that the abuser is often very quiet. The VAWA self-petition Form I-360 was created because the law recognizes this type of behavior. If you're married to a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident who is abusive, you may be able to file a VAWA self-petition. You do not need your spouse's permission. In fact, it is fully 100% confidential to protect you. You do not need their cooperation, and abuse does not have to be physical. I-751 waivers for conditional green cards applies. If you have a conditional green card based on a marriage under 2 years and your spouse is abusive, you may request an I-751 waiver based on battery or extreme cruelty. You do need a U.S. immigration lawyer to assist you through these complex processes. You do not have to stay married to stay lawful. That is a myth. Mental health records and evidence involving children are often critical here. Our U.S. immigration lawyers, we have represented men and women who were non-citizens abused by their partners. We know how hard it is to speak up. We know how frightening the immigration consequences can feel. But immigration status is not a license for control, cruelty, or fear. There is a legal path forward. If you're being stalked, mentally abused, or alienated from your children, hear this, please, very clearly. You are not imagining it. You are not overreacting, and you do not have to endure it to remain lawful. These are forms of violence, and the law recognizes them, and help does exist. Thank you for listening. Our contact information is linked in the description below, along with other helpful tools for victims of violence. Take care, and thank you for watching another episode of Just Wait, One U.S. Immigration Minute.